What would $2,000 per month in passive income do for you? For those of you new to the channel, my name is Jared Krause and I help people to buy passive income websites and then scale them. And in this video, this is the very first video on how I am taking a passive income niche website that I bought from about $400 per month to get it to about $200 per month within 11 months. Now, this could go over and I could just keep scaling it and get it to 2, 3, 4, 5K. Not sure about the time frame. Everything's dependent on the environment. But there's going to be a lot more videos of me reporting in the income, what I've done to grow the website, and the results month over month. So there will be a link to this playlist for the future videos in the description. So before we get started in this video, I'm going to show you the results, of course. But these only come from the changes that I've made. So make sure you stay tuned to the changes I've made. So if you've got a content website that you're looking at buying and growing, you can implement some of the things that have worked in this site if it may work for the site that you're using. Now, first up, when did I buy this site? I bought this site back in December 2020 and I added a little bit of content to it and changed the site at the start of 2021, and I did nothing with it for basically a whole year. And the site, it stayed stable. The traffic kept coming, it kept earning an income. I had some tech issues with something that happened when we changed some things on the site, but we got that back, that traffic levels back to where it was, and it just stayed equal without basically touching it. So this year, what I wanted to do is I wanted to dedicate a little bit of resources to it without me spending time on the site and making it a big, massive project for me and time intensive. So I'm going to talk to you how we can about that in this video and the future videos on how I grew this without me just going all in on with my time in itself, and how I use other people and resources to do so. So let's start with January, which is basically month 0. Did absolutely nothing to the site. The site got 50,209 page views per month. And through AdSense, it earned $360 in ad revenue. And that's all from AdSense. Then what I decided to do was okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change it from AdSense to Ezoic to get a higher earning per monthly view. In February, we got 71,499 page views, and that equaled $98 in AdSense and $414 from Ezoic. So the first week and a bit in February, we were still running AdSense, and then we changed over to Ezoic. And when you change over to a new network, they kind of need to learn your site, and the algorithm needs to work out, the earning per monthly views that's right for the site, and the ad placements and all that sort of stuff. So I'm expecting more income from Ezoic in month of March, which will be month number 2. And of course, when as I talk about this, January is usually the worst month of the year for ad revenue and for traffic, and then it works its way up usually, and this is typically for many niches, works its way up from February, March, and all the way through towards the end of the year. So please take that as a side note here and understand that, yes, I've made a little bit more money from Ezoic, but I've also got more page views as well. So we will start to see the difference as it starts to level out through the year as well. So what's my goal? What's my goal for this website moving forwards? Well, by the end of 2022, I'd love to be able to get this to about $2,000 per month without me doing too much extra work as a side gig. I don't want to make this a side hustle. I don't want to hustle for it. I don't want to work hard for it. I'm just going to implement what I know works really, really well, and what I've done with other people's businesses as I've helped them grow their businesses as well, and just do the small little changes that make a big effect and get big results. So maybe we'll get it to $4,000 by the end of 2023, but we'll reassess where this is at towards the end of the year, and things may change. Maybe we'll put even more resources in depending on where it's at and how much it's grown. So it's a bit of an experiment, and I'm doing this for me to share with you what works, what doesn't work, so you can have some help scaling your sites as well. Now, firstly, in a second, I'm going to share with you how I'm going to grow this site over the next year, and also what I've done in month 1. But first, I wanted to ask you, what are your online income goals? Let me know in the comments below how much you want to be earning per month and why. What's the goal? For me, I made this goal $2,000 per month because that's going to cover a big portion of my expenses, personal expenses, life expenses. Obviously, business expenses are a fair bit more, but if I could just cover this, my expenses, then I could, and everything else was to collapse, all my other investments around me were to collapse, and I still had this site as a good backup to be able to cover my expenses without me having to go back to the workforce and do a 9-to-5 job. Now, of course, it's that would be a very doomsday thing for it to happen, but I just wanted to make a simple goal of $2,000 a month because I think it's very achievable, and I think most people can get there as well. So how's this going to work? How am I going to do this? So throughout the year, I decided I'm going to do a few things, right? The first thing was changing ad networks, which we've done in month 1, which is basically February. Change the ad network to Ezoic. Okay, I'm going to talk about that shortly. Also looking at adding content to the website. So getting more page views by adding content, adding premium good quality content as well. I'm not looking at a big volume game. I'm going for quality first, and then once we achieve that, then we'll start to increase it. Next, where I'm thinking and looking at maybe doing a link detox for the site to remove some of the bad backlinks, the spammy, non-relevant, toxic backlinks that may be on the site. There are some backlinks that aren't favorable, of course. As I bought this website, it was obviously I didn't do the link building, and sometimes you can have some spammy and black hat people do some odd things with backlinks. So looking at link detox, and after link detox, we go the link detox route, then looking at doing some link building as well for the actual website. Now, this is a niche content website. It makes all of its money through ad revenue. Maybe towards the end of the year, we may look at a small percentage of content being affiliate content, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And of course, throughout the year, if there's some top posts that may need some updating and just doing some small little tweaks of things that do work and have worked for others, things that I have spoken with many people on my podcast about how they've grown their content websites, then and if it was going to work for ours as well for this one, then I might do some tweaks and changes to it as well, and maybe some small little things that I am learning along the way with this website, as I learned from many other websites that I work with as well. So I did mention the podcast there. If you don't know about the podcast, please check out the Buying Online Businesses podcast. It's on this YouTube channel. There's a lot of guests that talk about growing or buying websites and growing their online businesses too. So there's a lot of value there if you want to find that outside of this this sort of playlist or case study that I'm doing. Now, what have I done in month number 1 in February, and what were the actual results? So the first thing I did is I changed ad networks over to Ezoic. Obviously, when you want to go to Ezoic, you can do it via a plugin, but you can change your name servers over to Ezoic, and sometimes there can be some tech difficulty there. Usually, I don't really like this. So the team with Ezoic has been very helpful with helping me transition this. This did cost me a bit of time myself, but I really lent on the team through Ezoic to suggest what needed to be done, when and how to do it, so I wasn't just ripping my hair out and spending hours and hours on this. So you will see in the next month, the next video that I do, the changes that have been made to the ad revenue by joining Ezoic. And I did decide to go to premium, Ezoic Premium, about a few weeks into joining Ezoic, and you'll see the difference between Ezoic Regular, or should I call it regular, just normal Ezoic, and then Ezoic Premium as well. A second thing that I did is I signed up with niche website builders to create some content, right? So I decided to start off with the 10,000 words per month, and just going to kind of do that for a few months, maybe 3 or 4 months, to start seeing the results. And then when we understand the results, then I might scale that up. Now, niche website builders, they have delivered that content already, and it's live on the site. I force the indexing through Google Search Console so that Google can pick up that quicker and index those pages quicker. Now, I want to make a quick note on the content creation. I had previously had writers in the past for this website, and we got some articles written for this website, and I've also had team write articles for other websites that I've owned as well. And for the effort I found, for me, because this is not my main breadwinner business, this is going to be a side thing and it's a bit of an experiment. If it collapses, which I highly doubt it will, but as it should start to grow. But I decided I really didn't want to go through the hassle of building a team to get this started. I want to start off small, and I wanted to work with somebody who has a really good content creation service. And that's why I wanted to go with niche website builders, because I have a lot of clients that have used a lot of different content creation services. A lot of people in the buying online businesses community use a bunch of different content creation services, and there's a lot of feedback in the community of who people are using, why, and their results also, and what type of service that and quality is provided. So that's why I decided to go with niche website builders, not because they've sponsored the podcast, and they do sponsor the podcast, and I only using niche website builders based on the raw data. I don't get an affiliate commission from niche website builders. Just so you know, this is not me doing that. I just wanted to use them, and I will, continue to use them as they continue to get results and continue paying them. Now, like I said, I don't get a commission from niche website builders, but they do have a deal for the audience. If you want to get 10% more content or 10% more links, you can by going to nichewebsite.builders/BOB/Bob. Okay, so I'll put a link in the description for that as well. Now, lastly, the last thing that I've done in February to look at growing this site for the future is I also connected with someone who does link detoxes. And I'm going to do I'm thinking about doing a link detox for this site prior to doing that link building like I mentioned before, which will happen maybe in a few months, and I'll keep you posted with the results of this, possibly the cost of it, the results of it, was it worth it, was it not worth it, and would I suggest doing it for your site depending on where your site is at. So that's basically it. That's it. I wanted to ask you again, let me know in the comments, what is your income goal? What type of website do you want to buy, and what's your income goal? And if you have any questions for me, please post them in the comments below so I can answer those questions, so I can help you build a portfolio of websites yourself as well.